You're listening to the Spark Radio Network, internet radio like you've never heard before. Innovation, creativity, and imagination are all said to begin with a spark. So fasten your seatbelt and take the ride of your life and listen for the spark.
You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Hey, this is John Preston, Marine Combat Veteran and Pacific Records recording artist. Just reaching out to have you check out our new album, Battle Cry, Songs of America's Heroes, an album featuring phenomenal other combat veteran artists like Scott Brown of the Scooter Brown Band, Ryan Weaver, Rowdy Johnson, just an incredible mix of people. This is all veterans telling our stories and our lives, and we're giving 100% of our proceeds to the Valkyrie Initiative to help veterans and first responders integrate back into society. I myself have battled with post-traumatic stress for many years and lost my own brother, a Marine Corps veteran, to suicide. I ask that you step with us and make this happen. We are in pre-order right now and release on March 17th. Go to iTunes, go to Amazon, buy. We plan on making the charts and making it at a very high level, and your support right now makes a difference. This is the release of my new song, Superman Falls, which is actually about the loss of my own brother, which happened last year, and I would love for everyone to check it out, to listen, and hopefully it'll make a difference in many lives.
If you're 85 or younger, would you like peace of mind and comfort for your family? We're Final Expense Direct with an urgent message for you. The average funeral today costs over $8,000, but the most you'll get from government benefits is $255. How will your family pay the difference? We can help. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. Peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam. You'll have lifetime coverage, and your plan can't be canceled as long as you pay your premiums. Call now for free information about our senior plans. Answer a few simple questions and receive approval right on the phone. Plus, call right now and we'll give you a discount prescription card for free. Call 800-553-8687. That's 800-553-8687. Again, 800-553-8687. 8687.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it, there to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Sometimes riders feel lost, unsure why a passage may not be working. It takes another set of eyes to help us nurture our writing into full maturity. At Black Wolf Editorial Services, we strive to enable writers to develop and grow, offering manuscript critiques and line edits through a mentoring editorial style. We also offer assistance on generating a writer's bio for your websites. Black Wolf Editorial Services, nurturing your writing into maturity. For a full list of services, visit blackwolfeditorial.com.
Here's George Foreman with InventHelp.
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp has been helping inventors for more than 30 years and has sales offices nationwide. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas. If you have an idea and want to try to patent it and submit it to companies, you should call InventHelp today for free information.
Listen, I can't guarantee a company will be interested in your idea, but I believe every inventor deserves the opportunity to step into the ring and take their best shot. Put InventHelp in your corner.
To get your free inventor's information, call 1-800-353-6490. That's 1-800-353-6490. Again, 1-800-353-6490.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
country called the USA, and we fly our flag cause we're proud and free, we're Americans. Red, white, and blue is our way of life. We never back down from a challenge or a fight. Nature provides, God gives the rights, we're Americans. We fish the waters and we hunt the lands. We forge the steel with our own two hands. With what we've got, we do the best we can, we're Americans.
This is Rio of Madison Rising, and you're listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
It's time now for the Conservative Curmudgeon Radio Show. Now, here's Grouchy.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back. Show 95. 5 to go. We hit the century mark. You believe that? You people have put up with me for almost 100 original episodes of this show. I find that unbelievable that you haven't called for me to be off the air. But that's good. I'll take it. So, hope everybody's had a great day. Hope it's been a good week since we last talked. We got a few things that, and I'm a little bit grouchy about tonight. We're going to talk about some things that are both smart and dumb. We actually do have some smart stuff to talk about tonight, believe it or not. We'll get to that a little later. We're going to start off with more of the stuff that makes me angry. But before we do that, I just want to remind everybody that it is Wednesday night on KLRN Radio, and I am your leadoff man for the Grand Slam of Conservative Talk Radio. So what I intend to do is I intend to dribble out an infield single, steal second and third, and then get held on base while Jesse's POV comes up right behind me and hits that double. And then I'm not sure what's going to come on after Jesse, and then it's going to get followed up by the cleanup hitter, Rowdy Rick, with America Off the Rails. And we're all going to come around, touch home plate, and the night will be over, and you will be smarter for it. So do yourself a favor, stay tuned right here all night long. It's Wednesday. There is nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing good on television anyway. So stay right here, get your knowledge on KLRN Radio, your home for conservative talk. Anyway, so what's happened? What's happened? Well, I'll tell you what's happened. The United States has concluded in its infinite wisdom of the intel community that can't provide the unmasking requests that are involved in the wiretapping scandal, but they've concocted, did I say concocted? They've come up with enough evidence to know definitively that Russia knew in advance of serious chemical weapons attack last week. The official, who was not named, which I absolutely despise when the media does that, said that a drone operated by Russians was flying over a hospital as victims of the attack were rushing to get treatment. Hours after the drone left, a Russian-made fighter jet bombed the hospital in what American officials believe was an attempt to cover up the usage of chemical weapons. Now, we know from T-Rex's visit over to Russia today, Rex Tillerson, Secretary of State, he was over there today, and basically Russia offered two options. One was fake news, and the other was that that the whole thing is just, the rebels. They're the ones doing it. Which would mean that the past and present, well, I say the present, I don't know if we can we honestly say at this point, I don't know, in all honesty, I don't know yet. Can we say that the Trump administration is technically supporting the rebels? I don't know if we can say that or not. I think the move to bomb the airfield was more an act of, you can have your civil war, but you can't use gas. can't use chemical weapons. I mean, honestly, if it were anything other than that, wouldn't we have done something else by now? I mean, I don't know. I don't have all the answers. I never claim to. I do my homework diligently and I try to come up with good opinions. But right now, I say the jury's out. Now, with everything else that's going on, there are a lot of diehard Trump fans that are, and I hate this word. I absolutely hate it, but there's no other way to describe it. They're becoming residents of Cuckville. They are getting cucked hard right now, or at least they feel they are. Now, again, you don't have to like what I'm saying. If you're a big Trump supporter, more power to you. As long as you have and can articulate your reasons, and it's more than America, I'm all for you. Okay? If you're anti-Trump and you can articulate your argument and you have a point that is something more than he's a Nazi, I'm all for you. Be informed. That's what I want. But anyway, the senior official said the U.S. has, quote, no proof of Russian involvement in the actual chemical attack in northern Syria, but the official said the presence of the surveillance drone over the hospital couldn't have been a coincidence and that Russia must have known the chemical weapons attack was coming and that victims were seeking treatment. Now, the official who wasn't authorized to speak publicly on intelligence matters and demanded anonymity, which makes things even a little more sketchy, didn't give precise timing for when the drone was in the area where more than 80 people were killed. The official also didn't provide details for the military and intelligence information that form the basis of what the Pentagon now believes. So, yeah, here we go. Another U.S. official cautioned that no final American determination has been made that Russia knew ahead of time that chemical weapons would be used. That official wasn't authorized to speak about internal administration deliberations and spoke on condition of anonymity. What a bunch of crap. I am so sick of it. I think reporters should tell these people that want to give information on the condition of anonymity to stick it in their ear. Either own what you're saying or keep your mouth shut. So the allegation of Russian foreknowledge is grave, even by the standards of the currently dismal U.S.-Russian relations. And they are dismal. Tillerson even said so today. Russia said so today. Lavrov said it. Although Russia has steadfastly supported Syrian President Bashar al-Assad and his government, and they've coordinated military attacks together, Washington has never previously accused Moscow of complicity in any attack that involved the gassing of innocent civilians, including children. The former Cold War foes even worked together in 2013 to remove and destroy more than 1,300 tons of Syrian chemical weapons and agents. That we know was not nearly all of them, apparently. Until Monday, U.S. officials had said they weren't sure whether Russia or Syria operated the drone. The official said the U.S. is now convinced Russia controlled the drone. The official said it still isn't clear who was flying the jet that bombed the hospital because the Syrians also fly Russian-made aircraft. What a coincidence. U.S. officials previously have said that Russians routinely work with Syrians at the Shariat Air Base where the attack is supposed to have originated from. U.S. officials say the chemical weapons were stored there and that those elements add to the conclusion that Russia was complicit in the attack. So last Thursday evening, 59 Tomahawk missiles were fired on the government-controlled base in the United States' first direct military action against Assad's forces. They took out targets on the base, not the airstrip itself. The reasons given were that it's too easy to just repair the concrete and have it back up and functional again, that would not be a major loss. So they took out the buildings on the base that were allegedly storing chemical and conventional munitions. So the U.S. has been focusing its military action in Syria on defeating the Islamic State group. On Monday, Colonel John Thomas, a U.S. military spokesman, said the U.S. has taken extra defensive precautions in Syria in case of possible retaliation against American forces for the cruise missile attack. Thomas told reporters at the Pentagon that the increased emphasis on defensive measures was to protect U.S. troops on the ground in Syria led to a slight and temporary decline in offensive U.S. airstrikes against ISIS in Syria. There has been no Syrian retaliation so far for the cruise missile attack, which we know was untrue because they launched fighter planes off that air base the very next day and bombed other places. So we can already scrap that little factoid. They're saying that the cruise missile attack either destroyed or rendered inoperable more than 20 Syria Air Force planes. This is from the Pentagon again now. Thomas said the U.S. intends to return to full offensive air operations against ISIS as soon as possible. So, we got that going for us anyway, right? I mean, who knows what might come of this? I honestly don't know where I'd like to hear something from the administration on what our position is. Are we officially telling them you can have your civil war, just don't use gas? I don't get it. Right now, it's very strange to me. What? I don't know what that was.
Sounded
anyway,
like gremlins.
Sounded like what?
Sounded like you have gremlins in your soundboard.
Oh, well, that could be too. I mean, there's definitely a possibility of that. I don't even. Wow, what am I looking at? Okay. Anyway, so again, the first reaction to the cruise missiles, the Tomahawks, striking Shariat Air Base was Russia began saber rattling. Oh yeah. Yes. They said that, pardon me. So Russia saber rattling at the United States following last week's cruise missile strike in Syria is likely a posturing gesture and not a true threat, according to retired Army Major General Paul Vallely. I'm not sure how you pronounce his name. Anyway, it's just the weight of the Russians trying to trumpet some type of reaction to the hits on the Syrian airfield. He told Bill Tucker on America Talks Live last Monday. But it's been very well supported, he said. I think even Saudi Arabia and many of the Arab countries said it's the right thing to do. A joint command center made up of the forces of Russia, Iran, and militias supporting Syrian President Bashar al-Assad said the U.S. airstrike crossed red lines. Oh, we have another red line in the sand. Ta-da! And it would respond to any new aggression and increase its support for its ally. I know what Russia said. Russia said that they would take any and all action without regard to consequence. I don't believe that for a minute. I really don't. I don't think. What in the world could? Oh, geez. Okay, stop that. Geez. Sorry. So
that's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
You got that right. You can't even touch the volume button. It sets off the new soundboard, and I will get the kinks worked out of this. I promise I will. But I was looking for, there's the exit button. Ta-da! Now I can turn the volume back up. And no! Oh, this is killing me. Okay, so anyway, we fired the 59 cruise missiles at the Syrian air base. And he said, Vallely said that Syria's use of deadly chemicals is nothing new, which is true. We know they've used them before. 2013, sarin gas attack on innocent civilians and children and so on. That one was even bigger than this one. But nobody wanted to take the action. Nobody had the guts to pull the trigger, as it were. And, I think right now, if Trump is doing this just to say, hey, by the way, Barack Obama's gone and I'm here, that's not going to do any good if you're not willing to follow it up. And again, I'm not for getting the U.S. into a big war in the Middle East. If we have to, we have to. But do we have to now? Our military is tired. You can say what you want, but our military is tired. They've been doing this for too long. There's not been the pause to replenish. There's not been the pause to filter the new personnel through like there should be. We're begging for trouble. And I'm not saying they can defeat us. Don't get me wrong. I'd go back in before I let that happen. And that's the last thing they want is a half-crippled, middle-aged, former anything. But that's exactly what I would do if I had to. So right now, a lot of people are very happy that Trump did what he did. And it makes me worry a little bit about who it is that's happy that he did it. And folks, you know my stance on Trump. Okay, I told you through the election time, through the primary season, and even the general, that he was not my pick. He is the president. And I will support him because I want our president to do good. I always want our president to do good, no matter who he is or she is when that day comes. And whatever letter comes after their name, I don't really care. I want them to do good. I want them to do right. That's the biggest thing that I want from a president. And I worry that a lot of this is just ego. It's like announcing that he's here now. It's like, I am the great Trumpolio. I mean, I don't know. I'm not saying that's what he's doing. I'm just worried about it.
I need TP for my bunghole.
Yes, he does. He needs a lot of TP, but he needs it for that White House. Dude, that White House is a mess right now. I don't know what they're going to do over there. Apparently, Bannon has waved the white flag. He said he's going to surrender, make nice, and be really neato to Jared from now on. So we shall see. But and it's not even so much Bannon, and I hate to divert so far off where the notes are, but we got to talk about this too. It's not even so much Bannon. I know Bannon's got his baggage, okay? Who doesn't have some baggage? I'm not defending the guy, but I'm also not about to throw him under the bus because I haven't directly seen him do anything so heinous that I have to say, without a doubt, he's a Nazi and we can't have him. Okay, and I know there's people out there that believe that. Show me your proof. That's all I say. People out there that think he's the best thing since a a Dunkin' Donuts Boston cream chocolate topped. Show me your proof too. Okay? Because as far as I know, the guy hasn't done much of anything of consequence. How about that? Either way. And I think more so than Bannon, wouldn't Rex Tillerson be upset with Jared's role in the White House? I mean, you got Jared Kushner going around the world and basically doing the job of a Secretary of State. You know, he's negotiating, he's meeting with world leaders. This is what a Secretary of State does. And I don't know, I'm just throwing things out there. Let's see what sticks to the wall. I don't care. Not my administration. Like I said, I just want my president to do good. So anyway, there's that. And Tillerson, of course, was in Moscow. He met with Lavrov, and this was a good one today. The media was having a duck fit because Tillerson ditched the media pool that was following him in Moscow because he got a last-minute meeting with Putin instead of just Lavrov. This was going to be Tillerson-Lavrov, and Putin had backed out of it. And then at the last minute, Putin said he wanted to meet with him, and instead of doing this big formal thing, Tillerson just jetted over. They had their meeting. Boom, it was over. And the media's all, wah, wah. I can't stand that crap. They make me sick anyway. So tired of the media. But according to the unnamed sources here that are talking, and according to retired General Vallely, they're saying that basically Tillerson told Moscow this week that Assad has to go. Now, that's a different tack than what they've been saying all along. Is this chemical attack the straw that broke the camel's back? It's not like he hasn't done this before. So why do we need to have regime change now versus from what Assad has done before? I don't know. But anyway, we're at the bottom of the hour. We got to take a little break here, and we're going to come back, and we're going to talk about Liar, Liar, Pants on Fire. You'll know who I'm talking about just as soon as we get into the story. You may know already. And anyway, give us a few minutes. We'll pay the bills. We'll flip the turn. Or I got that wrong. I'll fix that when we come back. Anyway, stay tuned. We'll be back in just a couple minutes.
Well, not uptight, not unattractive.
You're listening to the Spark Radio Network. Internet radio like you've never heard before. Innovation, creativity, and imagination are all said to begin with a spark. So fasten your seatbelt and take the ride of your life and listen for the spark.
You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Hey, this is John Preston, Marine combat veteran and Pacific Records recording artist. Just reaching out to have you check out our new album, Battle Cry, Songs of America's Heroes, an album featuring phenomenal other combat veteran artists like Scott Brown of the Scooter Brown Band, Ryan Weaver, Rowdy Johnson, just an incredible mix of people. This is all veterans telling our stories and our lives, and we're giving 100% of our proceeds to the Valkyrie Initiative to help veterans and first responders integrate back into society. I myself myself have battled with post-traumatic stress for many years and lost my own brother, a Marine Corps veteran, to suicide. I ask that you step with us and make this happen. We are in pre-order right now and release on March 17th. Go to iTunes, go to Amazon, buy. We plan on making the charts and making it at a very high level, and your support right now makes a difference. This is the release of my new song, Superman Falls, which is actually about the loss of my own brother, which happened last year. And I would love for everyone to check it out, to listen, and hopefully it'll make a difference in many lives.
If you're 85 or younger, would you like peace of mind and comfort for your family? We're Final Expense Direct with an urgent message for you. The average funeral today costs over $8,000, but the most you'll get from government benefits is $255. How will your family pay the difference? We can help. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. Peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam. You'll have lifetime coverage, and your plan can't be canceled as long as you pay your premiums. Call now for free information about our senior plans. Answer a few simple questions and receive approval right on the phone. Plus, call right now and we'll give you a discount prescription card for free. Call 800-553-8687. That's 800-553-8687. Again, 800-553-8687. 8687.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it, there to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Well, I'm not uptight, not unattractive. Turn me on tonight, 'cause I'm real.
All right. Welcome back. Glad to have you here. Wednesday night, KLRN Radio. You are in the first segment, the leadoff segment, if you will, of the Grand Slam tonight. Right after me, you get Jesse's POV, and then you get Mystery Show, because I don't know what's in that slot now. And then you get America Off the Rails.
It's still dealer's choice. It's still dealer's choice for this week. Dan is planning on starting a solo show, I believe, next week. So
next week, woohoo! Okay, assuming he's not suspended again, right?
He can do a show without Twitter.
Well, that's true. You can. Just giving Dan a little bit of a chop bust in there. Anyway, back in January, and this is the liar, liar, pants on fire story I told you about before the break. Back in January, Susan Rice.
You're a liar. You're a liar. You know something that you're not telling us, you slimy scumbag liar.
Yes, she is. In an interview with, of all people, Rick will love this, NPR, pointed to the removal of chemical weapons from Syria as an achievement for the Obama administration. President Obama dropped a planned attack on Syrian facilities in exchange for a 2013 quote-unquote diplomatic solution that was supposed to result in the removal of all chemical weapons. We were able to find a solution that didn't necessitate the use of force, that actually removed the chemical weapons that were known from Syria in a way that the use of force would never have accomplished, Rice told NPR. Hey, she's right about one thing, okay? They were able to find, well, not that they were able to find a solution. She wasn't right about that. They were supposed to have been removed in a way that the use of force would never have accomplished. That's right, because the use of force would have rendered them useless again. In the state they are in now, they can still be used. I don't know where they are anymore because Russia removed them. All we know is they removed them. We don't know that they were destroyed. There's nothing that verifies this. So as far as we know, all these chemical weapons still exist somewhere. Whereas a use of force would have blown them all up, and that would have been the end of them. So she is right about that. It happened in a way that the use of force would never have accomplished, because a use of force would have rendered them useless. She continued to say, we were able to get the Syrian government to voluntarily and verifiably, yeah, where's the verification, give up its chemical weapons stockpile. Now, let me give you my thoughts on how well they did in achieving this. That's right. So the Post chastised Rice for telling, quote, a whopper. It's doubtful that many NPR listeners realized that known, the word known in quotes, was code for the fact that Rice only was referring to chemical weapons stocks declared by Syria, or that chlorine weapons were not covered by the agreement. Who would think that chlorine gas would be deadly somehow? No, come on, really? We put that in pools, don't we? Idiots. So the reality is that there were continued chemical weapons attacks by Syria, and the U.S. and international officials had good evidence that Syria had not been completely forthcoming in its declaration and possibly retained sarin and VX nerve agent. And according to the Post, Rice failed to explain that Syria's declaration was believed to be incomplete and therefore wasn't fully verified, and that the Syrian government still attacked citizens with chemical weapons not covered by the 2013 agreement. That tipped her wordsmithing to a 4 Pinocchios. 4. That's as many as you can get. That means her complete story was male bovine excrement. So to sum it up, Susan Rice is a liar. She's a big fat liar.
Nice girl, but about as sharp as a sack of wet mice.
That's exactly right. So, okay. That's enough about Syria tonight. I don't know. Maybe at least for now anyway. But what else is going on in the world? Well, I'll tell you what else is going on in the world. We've got the USS Carl Vinson group, U.S. naval warships and submarines steaming toward the Korean Peninsula.
I'm so lonely.
Yes, you won't be lonely very wrong because we'll be there about tomorrow, probably. But this is a move that's aimed at clamping down on North Korea's provocations, which reached new heights last week with another missile test. I mean, what are you going to do? Are you really going to blow up North Korea? I can't see it. I really can't see it. There's nothing North Korea can launch that we can't shoot down before it gets anywhere. Are we really going to just turn them into a parking lot? I just don't see it happening. The poor people there, I mean, for God's sake, I mean, the food is so scarce there. Kim Jong-un has had to have resort to just random, they're calling it the Korean lottery, the North Korean lottery. They tell people they've won the lottery and they get to go live in the palace. And what they do is Kim Jong-un feeds them for a week and then he eats them. I don't know. I mean, there's got to be something going on there. How's he getting so fat when nobody else can even eat a morsel? But anyway, the rerouting orders came just days after President Trump ordered an airstrike on Syria. which North Korea viewed as an act of, quote, intolerable aggression. Despite the fact that the country has conducted several missile tests over the last 2 years, according to Sky News, the U.S. Commander-in-Chief also met with Chinese President Xi Jinping last week at Mar-a-Lago, where I can't even afford to get on staff as the groundskeeper, let alone play around the golf there.
Affirmative
anyway,
action, man. Affirmative action. Tell them about your multiculturalism.
Well, I mean, I am a multiracial. He should make an allowance for that. There's no doubt, and it's South Florida, so I can definitely pull the Hispanic side of it. He should be willing to hire me for some kind of menial task down there. Never mind the fact that I'm a trilingual IT expert. That's okay. You wouldn't want anybody like that on staff. But anyway.
Well, I mean, he doesn't want anybody smarter than him. He's already said that on more than one occasion.
You're right about that. He definitely doesn't want anybody smarter than him. And I'm not saying that he's an idiot. I will say that he acts like one sometimes. But it would be unfair to call him an idiot. You can't achieve what he has achieved in life and be an idiot. That's just not possible. But anyway, North Korea has been engaged in a pattern of provocative behavior, according to Lieutenant General H.R. McMaster, adding that this move is prudent as a way to head off their aggressions. This is a rogue regime that is now a nuclear-capable regime. The president has asked to be prepared to give him a full range of options to remove that threat to the American people and to our allies and partners in the region. The ship movements are also meant to send a signal ahead of anticipated Korean Peninsula action coming up this weekend. Saturday marks the 105th birth anniversary of North Korean founder Kim Il-sung, the grandfather of the country's current leader, Kim Jong-un. Yes. So the number one threat in the region continues to be North Korea due to its reckless, irresponsible, and destabilizing program of missile tests and pursuit of a nuclear weapons capability. So says U.S. Pacific Command spokesman Commander Dave Benham. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson told President Xi, or said that President Xi told Trump during their meetings at Mar-a-Lago, that he too believes the North Korean nuclear threats have reached a very serious stage. And speaking on the Sunday morning talk circuit on ABC, Tillerson also addressed the missile strike on Syria, said the message that any nation can take is if you violate international norms, if you violate international agreements, if you fail to live up to commitments, if you've become a threat to others, at some point a response is likely to be undertaken. In terms of North Korea, we have been very clear that our objective is denuclearize Korean Peninsula. We have no objective to change the regime in North Korea. That is not our objective, he added, which I actually like not getting into the regime changes and the nation building. That has bitten us in the butt so many times over the years. Just such a bad idea. Such a bad idea. So anyway, we move from the fat little kid in North Korea. We slide back around the globe a little ways, back where we were into the Middle East, but we're going to sink down a little further and out of the Middle East into Africa. And we're going to visit Boko Haram here because I know it's been a little while since we kind of heard from these guys. They, about a year ago, they actually went through what they called an official name change. They wanted to be called ISWAP, which was the Islamic State in the Western African Peninsula. But nobody's calling them ISWAP, so I guess they've re-embraced the name Boko Haram. Anyway, what's going on with Boko Haram? Well, more of their usual. I mean, what would you expect, right? They are using infants as a ploy in suicide bombings. They have the ability to carry out conventional attacks against strategic targets, even though that's been limited. They have not ceased to target civilians using IEDs, particularly increasing the use of women and child suicide bombers. They kidnap these people, they strap them with the vest, and they tell them that they're going to kill them where they stand if they don't start moving in that direction. They're disgusting people. They really are. Boko Haram has been limited because it cannot gain access to money and supplies, but attacks are still happening. A woman suicide bomber with a baby strapped to her back, walked into a busy Nigerian market in late January and detonated explosives, killing herself, the baby, and 6 other people. Horrific. In November of 2016, a female suicide bomber carrying a baby on her back was shot by soldiers at a checkpoint in Maiduguri. Her explosives detonated because of the shot, killing her and the baby. But can you imagine, that could have been 6, 10, 12, 15, 20 more people. Who knows how big the bomb was? This is a disturbing trend. If we really wanted to make an effort to do something, taking Boko Haram out, that's not government building. They already have a government in place. And the government does not support Boko Haram, and Boko Haram does not support the Nigerian government. Boko Haram is Islamic State loyal. And because ISIS is actually in a retreat mode right now, they're unable to fund Boko Haram like they used to. This would be the time to strike Boko Haram and wipe them out. But anyway, the use of infants or the strategy of situating explosives to look like an infant in suicide attacks dates back years. And this is not new. In 2014, also in Maiduguri, one of 2 teenage female suicide bombers who detonated in a crowded market looked like she was carrying a baby on her back. They were unable to actually verify whether she was or not because of the damage that the bomb caused. Again, folks, if you've listened to my program from way back in the early days, you know how big I was in screaming about Boko Haram very regularly. They are the physical carnation of evil. I think they're even more radical than ISIS. I really do. ISIS does some pretty nasty stuff. They really do. But I think Boko Haram is even worse. Not necessarily in scope, but in how far they're willing to go. And I've had chats online with reporters about Boko Haram. It took forever to get Boko Haram into the news. James Rosen, Fox News, ended up, I pounded his Twitter account with one atrocity after another, after another. He broke the story on it on Fox News. It turned into a big hubbub with the administration for about a year because, this is something the Obama administration didn't want to get into to start with. He didn't want to touch Boko Haram. Hillary protected Boko Haram. It was a mess. And I have told James Rosen, thank you so very many times for the work he did on it. And God bless him for doing it. At least it brought Boko Haram to people's attention. Nobody knew who they were back then. Just so disturbing. They're so evil. You just don't know. You have to do the research on Boko Haram to get the full history going back. You just, again, telling you, they are worse than ISIS. They are. Anyway. I got a story I want to get to because we got some audio. Where is it here? Where is it? I'll find it. Don't worry. Don't want to waste the audio because Mr. Producer was nice enough to go get it for me. Okay, so we have Professor and economist Walter Williams addressing an issue that is so important in education these days. Rick, I know the clip's about 2.5 minutes long. This is from CNS News. Actually, recorded this at Williams' address. So if Rick could go ahead and play this up, MRC CNS News audio of
this
Walter
year
Williams.
Completes my 50th year of teaching. I know I don't look like it, but it's 50 years. And my 36th year of teaching at George Mason University. Academia is not what it was in 1967 when I taught my first class at Los Angeles City College. Many professors, particularly those on the socialistic side of the political spectrum, use their classrooms to proselytize students. While professorial proselytation is common and accepted at most universities, I believe that to use one's classroom to push one's personal beliefs is both immoral and dishonest. Like others, I have my own values and opinions, such as those that are expressed in my nationally syndicated column and many of my radio and television appearances. But they never become a part of my classroom discussion. In fact, I tell my students that if they hear me say something that is subjective without first having prefaced it with, in my opinion, and I tell them when I say, in my opinion, they can stop taking notes. They are to raise their hand and tell me that they took my class to learn economics, not to be indoctrinated by my values. It is a cowardly act to take advantage of student immaturity by indoctrinating them with the professor's opinions before the student has developed the maturity and skill to examine other opinions.
Go ahead and cut it there, Rick. That's good. That was the gist of what I wanted to get across out of this audio. Folks, there is an epidemic in our schools, and it's not just colleges. It's happening all the way down to the elementary schools. And if you believe what Mr. Williams believes, which is what I believe, then you have to be involved in your child's education, even through the college process. As horrible as that might sound to you or even to your child, it's important. They need to know that they're supposed to be getting educated on the facts, not indoctrinated into somebody's personal beliefs. Education is supposed to be teaching our children how to think, not what to think. They learn what to think by learning how to think. They gather the facts and they form their own opinion. In that same vein of thought, show your children where to look for the answers. Don't show them what they're supposed to see. Now, folks, that's about normal for me. I'm at the top of the hour now. We're going to make way for Jesse's POV coming right up next. The roulette wheel will spin after Jesse's POV, and the boss will plug something into the next hour. I have absolutely no doubt that it will be highly entertaining and educational. And then America Off the Rails caps off the night with Rowdy Rick, the man behind the microphone, the other end of the microphone here. I'm in front of the microphone. He's behind it. That's the way it works for our setup right now. But anyway, do yourself a favor. Stay here on KLRN Radio the rest of the night. Thank you for being here with me. If you like the show, tell your friends. If your friends like the show, you likely need new friends, but they and you are always welcome right here as part of the G Nation every Wednesday night on the Conservative Curmudgeon Show. Thanks for being here. God bless. Show 96 next week. Psst, I'm radio.
We believe in the American way, and we built this country called the USA, and we fly